My name is Jim Wetzel. I'm the Lincoln University State Aquaculture Specialist for Missouri. What I'm doing here today at the St. Louis Science Center is I'm trying to expose the public to aquaculture. What we do here is we try to make it so that the display that we put out is very educational. And we've got lots of critters that have interesting appearances, interesting behaviors. They have various value to the public, whether it be something you harvest, something you eat. We try to cover all those things as we try to excite the public about those aquatic animals and how they relate to aquaculture. With this particular setup, the emphasis is on crayfishes that are associated with the aquaculture industry, those that are on the approved species list for Missouri. We've got the 2 crawfish species that several crawfish producers here in Missouri have, as well as a couple of crayfish that are also being produced. Otherwise, the emphasis is on smaller organisms that are particularly interesting. We also have some cool things like the phantom midge, which is a very interesting insect that to a lot of folks looks a lot like a fish. Oh, see it right there? It's still moving around. There's its head. You got 2 air bubbles there in it, or gas bags. It's a fly larvae. It swims around in the water column. It's got these 4 little air bubbles in there that helps it maintain itself in the water column. A particular fun thing that we have are our giant burrowing mayflies. For several years, we've been able to show the nymphs and the adults in the open, in the free water, but in nature, especially the nymphs, you never see them that way. They're always burrowed in the mud. And I've got a little display here that shows how the mud looks when they're present, because you'll see 2 paired burrows that are very similar in size, that are spaced depending upon how large the animal is. It forms a U-shaped tunnel in which the animals sit in to pull water down into, so they can pull oxygen and food into without exposing themselves to predation by fish. We've also got a container here that shows things like Mississippi grass shrimp. In this case, you can see them from the side, like as if you were a fish, and you can see males and females that are carrying eggs, and we refer to that as being a berry. And we compare that to the female crayfish that reproduce in a similar manner, which currently we don't have any females in berry. We also have animals like whirligig beetles, which one of the fun things we have with that is we take them out and we'll allow the groups of people to smell the pointy end of the beetles. And we ask them what it smells like, and they're almost always saying it's pleasant, and they either will say it's watermelon or green apples. And then I say, do you like it? And it's almost always the affirmative. And when they do so, then I say, well, you obviously like sniffing beetle butts. And that really carries along. Another thing that we have are dragonfly nymphs, especially the devil's darning needle dragonflies. And there we can show how they propel themselves by squeezing water forcibly out of the rectum. So it's like a rocket. And there's always a fun discussion that goes on with that. Woohoo! See what it's doing? Can you see how it's propelling itself? It's basically fart power. That's what I tell everybody, just like I said it. And we can also describe their feeding morphology and the way they do it, which is not unlike what you see in the movie Aliens, where they've got the 2 sets of jaws. That's fun explaining that one. And then when we get back to the crayfish, we show the public how to pick them up in many cases, how to determine the males versus the females. We also describe how they eat and how they breathe, and adaptations they have for enabling those processes. We're also, at this point in time, we're even able to talk a little bit about mosquito fern and duckweed. And to excite some of the chicken folks that come by once in a while, I explain how chickens really get a kick out of eating that stuff. Here is something that we are trying to expose people to that deals with the actual crawfish producers here in Missouri. We've got at least 3 crawfish producers in the Boot Heel. And what separates them from the other crayfish and crawfish producers in the state of Missouri is how they collect them. Most of our crawfish producers and the rest of the state, they use seines when they're harvesting their fish. Our crawfish producers in the Boot Heel, though, are using the very same types of traps and rice rotating systems they do down south, such as in Louisiana. I explain how these traps work, how they're size selective, and also I give a little bit of a talk about how the animals are graded and sorted after that. Another issue that we're running into with our crayfish producers is that a lot of their crayfish are sub-market. And a lot of our public realizes that the way we typically consume our crayfish, we're throwing away about 80% of what you're raising is not eaten. What we're trying to do is introduce to people a way of eating the smaller crayfish where you eat closer to 70 and maybe even up towards 100% of the animal if you basically fry them and eat them with the shell on. And we've got a way of doing that that is proving to be highly palatable and very successful with those who try to do it. And today I've gotten out several of these recipes on how to do it with contact information for follow-up.